Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be graphing a couple of functions using transformations, so let's just jump right into it. The first thing you want to do when graphing any function using transformations is to identify the base function or the starting function. So I'm going to call it g of x, and it is the absolute value function. And the reason for this is because we have the absolute value bars in our original function f of x equals the absolute value x minus 1 plus 2. Uh, so in your textbook, you have a list of functions that you'll be doing transformations on. One of them is the absolute value. Another one will be the reciprocal function. Another one will be the square function, the square root function, the cube root functions, and so on. So I chose the absolute value of x function as my starting function because, again, I have absolute value symbols in my original. It looks the most like the original. It looks the most like f of x. So then what you want to do is to identify some key points to go with your starting function. And in your textbook, you do have a list of key points to go with each function along with the shape of its graph. And I'm just going to choose small, easy numbers to work with. So if I find g of -1, that's the absolute value of -1, which is 1, and g of 0 is the absolute value of 0, 0, and g of 1 is the absolute value of 1, which is 1. So then what I like to do is just to rewrite my function, the function I'm actually going to need to graph. And so I'll need some points to go with it. And right in the middle, I'm going to write the arithmetic that will allow me to do my transformation. So if you look at the starting function, the graph of the starting function, so -1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1, and of course, the dots, when you connect the dots, they form a V shape. What we're going to do is, if we can see from this x to this x, we're actually, I know it says to subtract 1, but you actually shift the graph to the right one. So we're going to do a horizontal shift right 1 unit. And then to the y, we're going to add 2. So we're going to take, to this y, we add 2. So we're going to take the graph and shift it up 2 units. So let's look at our transformation again. So from this x to this x, namely, we're looking at the arithmetic. So it says subtract 1, but we always do the opposite with x. We're going to add 1. And then g of x is the same thing as saying y. Y is the absolute value of x. So the absolute value of x is y. So from this y and bringing that y over, we're adding 2. The arithmetic that's being done to it is we're adding 2. And whatever you see being done to y, that's what you do, just as it is written, is what you're going to do here. Okay, so then to all these values here, I'm going to do this arithmetic on them so that I can get my transformation. So to all the x values, I'm going to add 1. So -1 plus 1 is 0. And then 0 plus 1 is 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. And to all my y values, I'll add 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I will place these on my graph here. Okay, and then when I connect the dots, shape of a V. So you can see from the starting function that we shifted right 1, especially if you follow the origin, the 0, 0 point. So you go right 1, and then we're going to go up 2, right? So we did a horizontal shift right 1 unit and a vertical shift up 2. So right 1 and then up 2. And of course, we do that to the entire graph. We just followed these points specifically. Okay, so this is it. That's the answer to this question, graphing f of x equals the absolute value x minus 1 plus 2 using transformations. And so let's do another graph. Let's graph f of x equals the square root of x plus 2 minus 1. So again, the first thing you want to do is to identify your starting function, which will be the square root of x, because we have the square root of x in f of x. So this square root of x looks mostly like this. So then I'm going to choose some key points. So I'm going to choose 0, 1, and 4. So g of 0 is the square root of 0, which is 0. G of 1 is the square root of 1, which is 1. And g of 4 is the square root of 4, which is 2. Again, the square root is you're just asking yourself what number times itself, what natural number times itself, or actually whole number, what whole number times itself will get you the number underneath this sign. This is called a radical, and the number in there is the radicand. Okay, so then we are going to rewrite the function that we actually want to graph, and then we have our little chart here to put some points there, and then we'll need to do our arithmetic here. So then if I look at my starting function, so I have 0, 0, 1, 1, and 4, 2. So I see this is the shape of my graph. This is how it looks, my starting function. And if I look from this x to this x, I am actually subtracting 2. You always do the opposite to the x value. Whatever arithmetic is being done to it, you do the opposite. So we're doing a horizontal shift left 2 units. So we're going to take this graph and we're going to shift it left 2 units. And then we're going to look at our y value. Y is the square root of x. So from this y, bringing the y over to this, so we have this y, we are doing a horizontal shift down 1 unit. So we're subtracting 1 from y. And then whatever's being done to y is what you just write here. Okay, so to all the x values, we're going to subtract 2. So 0 minus 2 is negative 2, 1 minus 2 is negative 1, and 4 minus 2 is 2. And to all the y values, we will subtract 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, and then we are going to go and plot our points. And connect the dots. So you can see we took the graph, we did a horizontal shift left 2 units, and you can see that clearly when you follow 0, 0. So right here at the origin. So 1, 2, and then we're going to shift it down, we'll do a vertical shift down 1 unit. So we went from the origin, right? From 0, 0, we went 1, 2, down 1. And of course, we did that to all the points in this graph. We just followed these specific points here. And that's it. That's the answer for f of x equals square root of x plus 2 minus 1. That is the graph using transformations. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope this helped. Please watch my other videos. I have many other videos on different topics and more on this topic. So, yeah, again, I hope this helped, and I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.